Hiya! This is Wayne the Dane Hansen, and we're at Wonderfest 2002 for all you hearing impaired. We're doing it again. We're modeling for dollars, and the hearts and minds of the figure kit, garage kit guys, and the toy guys. We're here selling and having fun. And we hope you're having fun watching this stuff, because this is a really neat opportunity for you to see a whole new hobby of fantastic things on this videotape that you're watching. So stay tuned and don't miss anything.
I'm Terry Beatty. I'm a cartoonist with DC Comics. I work on the Batman Gotham Adventures books, but I'm also a garage kit fan and builder and collector. And lately I've been sculpting my own kits, and I've released 2 figures under my Beatty's Beauties line. One is Buffalo Belle. She's a sort of vintage calendar girl style pinup, Western cowgirl. And the other is Mary Hartline, who was a real person, and still is actually, long retired. She was an actress and performer, appeared on the ABC TV afternoon kids show called Super Circus in 1949 to 1955. Gorgeous blonde, and guys of the right generation, when you mention her name, they get all misty-eyed. So, and she was fun to sculpt.
I'm Ed Buckley, Dice Man Creations, Model Maniacs magazine. Notice the cameraman followed over to the magazine's really good here. What's new this show? We have the Frankenstein bust. We have Liar's Poker, Bela Lugosi, Midnight Encounter, Frankenstein versus the Wolfman, Conan, some other things that George Lucas doesn't want to know about. David Carradine, Hammer busts, Ghoulardi, the Cool Ghoul, Lon Chaney, and a bunch of replacement heads, all for your buying pleasure. We're here 7 days a week, but only during Wonderfest.
My name is Steve Iverson. Y'all know me as Cult TV Man. I run the Cult TV Man sci-fi modeling website. We're here at Wonderfest. We're selling the new cult TV man book, The Ultimate Modeling Guide to Classic Science Fiction Movies. We got a line of kits that we're selling and promoting. The Sea-View came out from Polar Lights this year, so we got a conversion kit for that. We've got a custom submarine base for that. We've got a couple of new figures. Kevin McCarthy from Invasion of the Body Snatchers. It's an authorized kit of him. We have a new kit of the Morlock from the classic movie The Time Machine. And so we're having a good time here, selling kits, meeting friends, seeing everybody.
Hi, I'm Dave Metzner, and I'm with Polar Lights, and we make plastic model kits. For the rest of this year, we have coming to start with the DeLorean, the Time Machine from Back to the Future. We also have the Spindrift from Land of the Giant. Also, we have the Ecto-1 from the first Ghostbusters movie. This is a 1.5 to 1 tooling master of the car, and this is the first test shot. Also, we have kits from Batman, the comic books. This will be a plastic Batmobile, the Bat Plane, which is a recreation of the classic Aurora Bat Plane kit. And last but not least, again from Land of the Giants, there's the Rattlesnake. So that's kind of what we're doing.
Hello, my name's Terry Webb. I'm the publisher and editor of Amazing Figure Modeler magazine.
I'm David Fisher, publisher and art director of Amazing Figure Modeler.
It was around 90, I believe. Dave started sending photos into a magazine I used to work with called Model and Toy Collector, and Dave's work stood out at the time because a lot of guys weren't apt at taking photos of their work. And Dave was a really good modeler and a really good photographer, so we had a great collection. He just dumped a bunch of photos in our lap. They were all monster type kits. So we remembered Dave, we remembered his name, and I stayed in touch with him. I actually got to meet him at the '91 Louisville show, this show actually.
Yeah.
I met back then, and told him we were really impressed with his work, and I said, hey, would you like to write for the magazine?
He started having me write for Model Toy Collector, and I guess I wrote for about 2 years. I started the Model Mania column, and the publisher, Bill Brugman, had kind of decided to take the magazine in a different direction and go more. He was really the toy guy, and Terry was the model guy, and he decided to kind of go more in the toy direction with it. So, Terry called me one night. It's like, it looks kind of like we're going to be out of a job here shortly. And I just said, I've got a background in graphic design, and I've always wanted to do something like this. So we just decided to try to do our own magazine. I figured, between all of his connections and I could lay the thing out, I didn't think we could, find a problem giving it a shot. So we tried it.
Well, when we do the magazine, Dave's got his set responsibilities and I have mine, but it's not like, I cross over into his and he crosses over into mine. We just kind of throw ideas back and forth. But mainly what I do is I'll sit down with him, and several issues out, we always know what we're targeting. We always know blocks of 2 issues what we're doing. We have an original themed issue coming out.
Right.
So between now and when the issues come out, we constantly brainstorm, and I'll try to come up with the painting angle that the articles take, and assign them to the writers. And You know, I take care of all the banking and you know, the mail and all that stuff.
I do all the graphic design and layout of the magazine, the way it looks, a lot of the photography, and I'm responsible for the covers. I don't paint every cover, I don't do every cover, but yeah, you know, I design them and come up with the concept. I look at it from a marketable standpoint. You know, you want a cover that's going to make somebody pick it off the shelf and want to buy it. So, you know, while we both come up with the ideas of things a lot of times or whatever, I guess my main job is to really just pull it all together and make it look good. That's kind of the thing. You're selling the sizzle, so to speak. Terry's a good idea man. I mean, you know, we'll talk about ideas, and he's always got something going. You know, it's like, don't let that face fool you. He's actually not a bad guy. He's pretty smart. Well, I told Terry early on, one thing I wanted was, I remember when I was a kid, I used to get Famous Monsters of Filmland, you know, and there was nothing more exciting than going to the mailbox and that magazine being in there, and you pull it out of the envelope and see the cover. And I said, I want people to have that same jolt. You know, that's why we don't, if you ever notice, we don't show our covers ahead of time. We don't put them on the website till it's actually shipped. Because I want that surprise. You know, if it's up there and people are looking at it for 3 months, then when they get it, it's kind of like, oh yeah, I've seen this one. When's the next one coming? So, you know, I really want that jolt of excitement, kind of like, wow, when they pull it out of the envelope.
It would, in a perfect world, it'd be great to do it, but what people don't realize, they look at the magazine, and we've actually had people say this to us, you know, they think we're in a high-rise somewhere. And they don't realize, you know, Dave's down in Nashville, Tennessee, and I'm up in Columbus, Ohio. So, you know, it's a lot of just long-distance messaging and whatnot, so that slows down the process. We're not like in the same city, and we can't move that quick. But the main problem that we'll find with this is that this hobby, even though it kicks out enough product that it could go for a monthly publication, there's not enough money generated by it. I mean, we would have gone broke had we tried to establish that schedule. So from the model and collector toy days, I realized that quarterly, you know, I wish there was more, but it's a nice pace. It's not like we have to sprint through this. We're jogging through it. And so combine that with working with all these different artists, advertisers, you know, just you know, all these little different entities. We have to tie the knots between and everything. It's a long process.
We could do it cheaper, you know, more black and white. I mean, if you did cutting costs, you might do that, but then it wouldn't be FM. You know, it wouldn't be special. Yeah. So I'd rather have it 4 times a year and it be 4 great issues than 6 or 12 times a year and be a lot of filler and a lot of guys going, well, that one wasn't very good. You know, what about the next one? So.
Well, for people who don't realize what recasting is, it's where an artist, after he has created a piece, someone will buy a copy of it, and then what they'll do is they'll go and they'll put it in rubber or RTV, and they basically remold it. They make a mold of their own, and now they're able to sell copies of it. And they normally offer it at a far reduced rate. A lot of times it's a far inferior product because it's not their product. They just want to hurry up and make some copies and make some quick money on it. But what's wrong with it is that the original guy who produced it, he's invested time into it, and he's got, you know, his money into the molding and whatnot. So he has to offer at a certain level, a price level. Well, the recaster, he can cut all those corners and offer it for far cheaper, and he's undercutting. He's taking the legs out of the original producers. So it's very damaging in that fact where you can't keep people coming into the hobby because they keep getting ripped off by these guys.
Right.
And the guys that are doing it, they don't have to worry about advertising and a lot of the other costs associated with producing a kit. And they come out smelling like a rose because they're offering the product to someone at 1/3 of the price.
I know how it is to want something and maybe not be able to afford it. But, you know, I say, you know, save your money. Ask for it as a present, whatever, but just to go out there and buy a bootleg copy of something to own it, okay, you did that, you got your kit and you got it cheap, but the guy who produced that kit, you know, if enough people do that to him, he's not going to keep producing kits. And the people that everybody professes to love in this hobby and want their product and want their stuff, they're leaving the hobby. I mean, we hear it all the time. We talk to these guys, and they're frustrated. You know, they're like, I spend 2 months on a sculpture, 3 months on a sculpture, or I paid a guy $2,000, $3,000 to sculpt a kit, and I can't break even. You know, I didn't break even. It got bootlegged. You talk to these guys. There's a guy in Australia right now that's really a talented new guy that's coming into the hobby, which is what we need. We need new, fresh talent. He produces 2 beautiful busts. And one of them, unfortunately, has already been knocked off, and it's not even been offered for sale yet. You know, it got knocked off before it was put on the market. And this poor guy, he's sitting there like, you know, I'd like to at least make my money back before this happens. And you're thinking, you know, how can the hobby survive if this kind of stuff continues? And like I said, I sympathize with people wanting affordable product, but you know, at the same time, you have to look at it like you're investing in the future of the hobby when you buy an original piece. And when you buy a bootleg, you're killing it off.
Fortunately, we've seen, you know, the dramatic effect it's had on artists, and they're only going to get, you know, ripped off so many times. You know, it's only
Sure.
human nature, and we've lost some really good artists. We lost them to the giftware market. We've lost them to the toy market. We've lost them just completely because they've lost interest in it.
From Horizon to Screamin' to now geometric design, you know, these stalwarts of the hobby are folding and going under. You know, for not all the reasons of recasting, but a big chunk of it. You know, George at Geometric, he's saying that his entire overseas sales was just crushed by cheap knockoffs from Asia.
And this is a company that, you know, has been around for a decade, and they took out license on all their stuff that they had produced, and another company just comes in. You know, it's comparable to running a marathon race and the guy jumping in 500 feet before the finish line and coming across the finish line saying, "Hey, I'm in first place." You know, I mean, it's just any way you slice it, recasting is very detrimental to our hobby. So we'd like to see it, you know, stop and, you know, concentrate on the people that are doing it right.
Mainly just I'd like to see everybody in the hobby, you know, stick with it, have fun. I'd love to see more talent come into the hobby, more people give it a shot. The thing that this hobby needs is, you know, growth. It's like anything. You know, you want to grow and you want to bring new talent, new blood into it, new modelers. So we're doing our part to keep things going and promote the hobby and the people in the hobby, and you know, just everybody have a lot of fun with it.
I'd just like to say, if you've gotten the magazine and you bought it in the past, thank you very much. We appreciate your support. I'd also like to say that if you haven't tried modeling, you should. It's great therapy. Look at us, we're laid back and relaxed.
That's right, a couple healthy
But yeah, it's a really fun hobby, and you know, in this day and age, everything is just pre-made, prefabricated, disposable, and whatnot. And what our hobby focuses on is working with your hands and your mind and your creativity. And you know, if you used to do modeling when you were younger and have forgotten about it, come back to it. It's a really lively hobby, really fun. I'm sure you got all the stuff on the tape here if you've seen it, and you know, it's like Dave says, anyone can be a part of it, and we'd love to have you.
Hi, I'm from Pinkerton Effects, and here's my display at the Wonderfest 2002 show. I got a few little things new this year. Got the Freature from the Pickled Lagoon. Got my new Morella doll, which is a little strange, but everyone seems to have a good time with her and everything like that. But beyond that, we still have our same old stuff that's reoccurring show after show, like the Little Green Man. We have the Bone Collector, which is a real popular item. Pumpkinstein, which everyone seems to get a kick out of, followed into the series of the Pickled guys here. And I got a few other ones up front here, like the pre-painted Believe. But we have a little bit of everything else too. We have some different skulls, a little bit of everything else. We try to bring out something new every show, and we're going to try to keep on bringing new things out. So stay tuned for what's next.
I'm Mark Mattison, and I'm working with Shane Foltz of Cretaceous Creations. This is our latest release. It's my spin on Godzilla. She's 31 inches long. What we wanted to do with it when we brought it to the show is bring something new and exciting, along with Shane's latest release is Torosaurus. We've just been I've been coming to Wonderfest for about 3 years, and every year we like to be, you know, contributing to the community and acting or giving the hobby a little more credibility. But as you can see, we've got a lot of good stuff here. I think the most important thing about coming to Wonderfest is just meeting the other sculptors, exchanging techniques, spending money.
How you doing? This is John Jaco here, and we got a couple of new pieces this year, and most of them are sculpted by Mark Van Tine. We got the Spider-Man over here, that's 1/6 scale, and the Scorpion interlocks with that. It's very cool. That'll be in an upcoming issue of Amazing Figure as a build-up article. And we got the Creature bus here by Wayne Dane, Jaws bus over here, and coming soon we have the Pretorius bus, and that should be really cool.
Hi, I'm Dave from Dark Carnival Model Company, and these are some of our new offerings for the Wonderfest show here. All right, this is our McDougal's House of Horrors kit. It's a 3-figure kit. Comes with the box and the 2 figures that you see right now. Also comes with the packing material for the inside of the box. This is our Abyss model kit. It's a fairly well-detailed model kit. We offer it in a clear cast resin. You can light it from underneath and get a really nice water effect. The base is clear, the water is clear, the alien is clear. We're based out of New York, and we do a wide range of figures from different subjects, different movies, different comic books. We try to offer a little bit of everything.
I'm Chris White. I have Chris White Studio in Maryland. I also do freelance work for Polar Lights, and that's why I'm here helping to represent at Wonderfest 2002. I started working for Polar Lights doing freelance covers between 3 and 4 years ago, and I started with Wolfman. That was the first one, and I was scared to death to do it. The idea of following in the footsteps of Bama and Kunstler. Happy to say I'm still doing some work for them. I've got some freelance jobs that are coming up for the next year. So there's some really nice things for the fans to look for. I think people are going to be very excited and surprised when they see what we have in store.
All right, hi, my name's Anthony Mestes, and I'm the owner of Life Force Studio. What you see here are Life Force Studio's 3 new kits. We have, first up, the Adar, sculpted by Bob Baggy. Great piece, 16 inches tall, quite menacing. Also we have the Fly 2 that was sculpted by Rudy Garcia. And third up, the Grinch bust, also sculpted by Bob Baggy. So there you have it, Life Force Studio.
The name of the company is Dreamstar Productions, and my name's John Fishner. I am a sculptor by calling and profession, and you name it. And dinosaurs, dragons, and all forms of fantasy in between are my life. This is not a hobby. This is what I do because I love it.
Hi guys, my name is Scott Kelly and this is my company Alternative Images. This is our newest piece of Gigantopithecus rex. If not, you should be here. Then we have a full line of resin kits as well as we're starting to be into vinyl kits. What we have left here at the last day of the Wonderfest is of course a couple of our last kits of the Gigantopithecus rex. We're also producing now the McVeigh Frankenstein, as well as we have 3 other kits in vinyl that are being produced shortly. It's been a great show. Again, I met a lot of great people, and what else can I tell you about my company other than that we're getting bigger and better every year.
Hi everybody, I'm Sean Nagel. I've been in this hobby for probably going on 13 years. I work in the toy industry as well. This is some of the newer things that I've done. I'm a huge fan of superheroes. Superheroes to me are mythology like Greeks and Romans had, and it's our version of it, and therefore I think it should always be done in a sculptural form, just like they did with their mythos. I also sell other items, you know, involved in the hobby. Collect toys. You know, I'm like you guys. I'm a hobbyist and you know, a fan as well. Most of the things that I sculpt and I do, you know, that I sell at the shows are things that I wanted, and hopefully I can sell them and people will enjoy them like I do. It's not usually done just to make money. It's done for the love of it, and it pays me back for my effort.